All right, today is the day of the Sabbath day. So I wanted to make this quick. And I wanted to say how this is Heart Day 3 of 3. Heart Day 3 of 3. Before you go off to bed, I just wanted to leave with you something to read tonight before you go to bed, because this is Heart Day 3 of 3. And Heart Day 3 of 3 is about the day of the Sabbath day. So anyway, hope it's clear. And so I just want to say a little story, and then you can finish it off by having some little, not little, but by having some time to go and open up your Bible and read it for me. Just do that for me, and do it for your day. Do it for yourself on this day, before this day is over. Okay? So today, this is in regards of Heart Day 3 of 3. This is the last day of Heart Day 3 of Heart Day. So I just wanted to leave you with some reading to do. So I'll start the story off and you'll finish it. So, okay. So let me start the story off. So I'm going to start it off like this. Jesus was amongst a lot of important folks who was blind, who was halt and withered and waiting for the move of the water. He was amongst all these type of people, okay? So Jesus knew this man who came forth towards him on that day, who was in his bed, who had this disease. And he had this disease for a very long time. So now the Father was telling this man who was sick of this disease. He asked him, "Will you be made whole? Will you be made whole?" And this is in John 5:4. And then he goes on to say that in this story that I'm telling to you, it says that now the impotent man, which the town was full of impotent people, impotent folks, blind, halt, withered, and waiting for the move of the water. So now this impotent man, who Jesus had just spoke to and asked him, "Will you be made whole? Will you?" He asked him, "Will you be made whole?" Because he was sick. He was diseased. He was diseased, and he had been diseased for a very long time. So again, now this impotent man, he started to say to Jesus, "Sir, I have no one to put me in the water." So he began to say these words and be with that in his mind. So he said to Jesus, he said, "But sir, I have no one to put me into the water to be cleansed. And so then Jesus said to him, Jesus said to this man, and this is John 5:8 at this time. Okay. And the man was made whole. Okay. This at this time you in John 5:8. This was in John 5:8. And the man at this time was made whole. Although, he was complaining of how he had no one to put him in the water. At this time, Jesus made this man whole. He was made whole because of the works that was done on the Sabbath day, okay? And so this man, he took up his bed and he walked. In the day that he took up his bed and walked, again, that was the day of the Sabbath day that he gave up that adulterated bed in which his father's father, and his father's fathers have been in for many of years and passed it down from generations unto generations in that bloodline leading up to him. And now, the day that you take up your bed of being diseased of your fathers here on this earth and being in that adulterated bed in which many have gone that way and being in that way for many years, it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It is now time to look at you on this hard day, 3 of 3. And this is my little short story to you, to just go and get up out of that bed and walk. You impotent men of God. Get up out of that bed of being diseased because of what was passed down to you for many of generations. In that bed, being in that bed is an adulterated bed in which many men have gone down that way. And it's now, this is known as a disease. And all have gone down this road. Because that disease is a works. A works was done for you to have been diseased. A work was done. And the work was done by your fathers. In the day that you take up your bed from being of that adulterated disease, the day you take up your bed and walk will be the day of Sabbath. The day of Sabbath is the day of work in which you adhere to of the Father. And there is 2 types of fathers. 1, the father who do evil, and 2, the father who do good works, okay? Who do good works, who do evil works. And the father who do good works, the day that you take up your bed and walk and get from amongst the diseased of what your fathers have passed down to you, will be that day of Sabbath day. And the father whom you listen to and adhere to will determine if you're still diseased or you're free. The day in which you will be free will be the day of the Sabbath day. Do you hear me? And then and only then can you take up your bed and walk. Walk to the Father in which that do good. That is the Sabbath day. And I want you to read tonight before you go off into bed. Read this chapter in this book and believe on it. And after you get done with that, take up your bed and walk. Now your heart will be made brand new. That will be the day of the Sabbath day. There is many people who don't adhere to the Sabbath day. They don't even know what the Sabbath day is. But the Sabbath day is the day in which you will adhere to the works in which that is good and has been already done by the Father who is in heaven, not by the Father who is on this earth. So read John. So your reading for tonight, for this hard day, 3 of 3, will be John chapter 5, verse 30 through 47. John chapter 5, verse 30 through 47. And have a good night on your Sabbath day. All right? Goodbye.